on this wonderful day of Aggressive Minecraft, the second episode of this really strange series that I've begun to start for some reason. Oh, look at that, it's turning day. There's actually transition to the day. Right. Oh, no, it still has that, flicker. Yeah, lovely. Continuing from where I was at, last episode we made a house. I dug a little bit underground. We mined, we got the iron pickaxe. That was the achievement of that. So in this one, let's start off with what's changed, ironically enough. In this version, Alpha 1.0.4, I think it's worth mentioning that will only be going up official releases on the Minecraft launcher. Otherwise, I'd be through InfDev 619, 620, whatever the others are, which I am not doing. I'm just going to be doing the ones they've released officially. As for snapshots, maybe. I'll think about that when we get there, but that's a lot of sheep. What is with all the sheep here? Let's go and commit some genocide. So has this changed? I think in the last version it was grey wool, not white wool. So yeah, the first one was more like an introduction. So this one can be of an actual subject this time, which I'm going to talk about change. So let's discuss how this applies to the Minecraft version. So, change. Ironically, I wanted to make the second episode change because this would be the version, or this would be the episode where there's actually a change in the versions. I've already discussed that the wool has changed, but the more interesting changes of this version from the last was, in the last version we had gears, which I didn't even get to find before the video was over, but in this version, it is the version where redstone was first introduced. So hopefully we'll be able to get some redstone, and that might become the end goal of today, or tonight for me. Change is very important. It is one of the most important things in real life. One of the most important things in Minecraft, I guess. I guess I could apply it to that. Because if Minecraft had stayed on the first version that I did in the last episode, it probably wouldn't be anywhere today. It wouldn't be one of the most top-selling games because it was pretty bare bones, let's be honest. Change is necessary to make it to... What's the word? Change is necessary to affect anything, right? It's like a big rough stone, or like a diamond, right? When like a gem or something like that gets uncovered or mined for the first time, it's rough. It's in a really rough state. It's probably still got fucking stone attached to it. It's rough. It's dusty. It's covered in shit, basically. But the way that we envision diamonds is, perfectly fucking carved out diamond, symmetrical, absolutely stunning. You put on rings and that, but it did not start that way, excluding artificial diamonds, which I don't know, but change. That diamond had to change. There's probably more diamond before it got carved into something else, but its value increases with that, despite having less diamond. There's a bit of a strange analogy or metaphor, whatever the fuck, to use here, but that's applicable to real life. As you grow older, as you start to be more experienced. You grow in the way that just perfect yourself over time. Who the fuck gets born into perfection? Like, genuinely. Like, other than a fucking Elon Musk kid or Mark Zuckerberg's kid, whatever it's called, like X2A2, whatever bollocks. Mate, actual robot, actual lizard. Can I get that pork, please? I've lost it. You might get a good spawn like him because he's going to be fucking famous instantly with lots of money and all the rest of it, but bro's probably going to be a super villain, let's be honest. Because without the grind, without the discipline, without knowing what it's like to not have the luxuries and shit like that, bro is not going to be a good human. I don't know how the hell I've got to talking about Elon Musk's kid. Absolute waffle. More waffle than a Waffle House. Change is absolutely necessary in literally, like, in pretty much everything. So I'm gonna actually, like, get on with the point I'm trying to make, that people shouldn't be scared of change. Even though the change can be huge, the change can be completely life altering, but I in particular had a problem with change growing up. I don't know what it was. Change always seemed scary, but that's because I was too used to sitting in my comfort zone. When change finally arrives, because change is inevitable, it was terrifying, or I deny the change, or it you can't escape change. You can't deny it. It will get you. It will get you. What's my goal? What's my goal for today? Finding redstone or diamond would be great. I assume there's diamond in this patch. Maybe getting some more iron would be good. Would be very good. My mine's down here. Yes. Oh my god. Water does not stop fall damage. Now that's an example of a good change, because that is horrid. Change is going to be the main subject of today. What was that noise? Was that Hero Brian? Oh, I'm at bedrock already? Wow, okay. I wasn't far off when I stopped playing before then. Wow. I'm gonna be extra real and talk more more specifically about what change I've had to face over the years that impacted me more than I would like to admit, or changes that I didn't understand growing up. Probably people leaving. I think that's like one of the biggest ones for me. Like friends, like family, and even partners. Having those like move away, even if it's like so small. I had a couple like childhood best friends who were literally like, one day we were playing like fucking Nerf battles. One day they were coming around my house like every day, and the next they were just gone. That's something that's always impacted me. It's so fucking stupid, but you know, it had to happen. They're not just gonna stop from moving away or whatever because I don't want them to. It's not how it works. It can be painful, it can be disorienting, it can be confusing, it can be scary, but it has to happen. And I think one of the best ways to cope with it is just realizing that, you know, you just gotta move forward. Life always moves. Life moves with or without you. That time's not just gonna stop because fucking your friends moved away. Ain't nothing gonna stop. So you just gotta grit your teeth and get the fuck on with it. But even though, like, I've gone over a change that has been like inevitable, right? So, change that you couldn't control. But what about change that you can control? Or okay. Anyway, change that you can control. What's a good example of this? Change that you can control, like your reaction, your reaction to things. Like if your friend moves away, change your mindset from, oh no, they've moved away, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Well, to, alright, well, I guess I've got more time to improve myself and fill that space with something new. Which is what it's all about, really. When things leave your life, it opens up room for new things. That's just what life is. Yeah, as usual, I sound a bit, under the weather. Because as usual, I'm drinking literally just before I do these. But in my defense, New Year's, so I'm not an alcoholic, I'm just drinking on New Year's. It's completely acceptable. Oh, just wait until they hear about the bender. Oof. So yeah, me personally, I've struggled to change, but as I've grown older, I've realised that changes were really important, and you can sort of use it to your advantage actually if you face it head on. If you can get used to the change and start using the change to benefit you, you get over it. That's change that you can't control, but change that you can control, obviously your reactions to things, but you can make a change right now to positively impact yourself. So, I mean, it's New Year's. Of all the times you want to make a big change to your life, now's the time. Or even small changes, like New Year's resolution. This year, I want to go to the gym daily. Or this year, I want to go on long walks every day, or every week, or something you can say consistent on that will positively impact you. My changes have become sort of automatic. I've been making constant changes as I just go along and sort of just adjusting as I go, which is also okay to do. You can do that as well. If you can stay consistent at something though, and like apply yourself to that, do that. But I feel like me personally, I've made a lot of changes already, so I'm pretty content with not having a New Year's resolution. So an example for me, I probably mentioned it before, is vinyl collecting. My collection before was, in the first episode, I must have had 1 or 2 vinyls, maybe a 45 and an LP of something. But now I think I've got 10, 11 even, because I've been wanting to spend more on new artists and new tracks I've not heard before, and it's great. I love exploring the hobby. It brings me joy. Just change to be better when shit happens. Yeah, the best way I see it is like karma in a way. So karma works like if something bad happens to you, something good will follow, sort of thing. So as much bad in the world as there is good, and balances itself out no matter how like extreme it is, and it becomes equal. I'm trying to get around this without sounding delusional or fueling delusion, because karma isn't always going to be like dead on. If something bad happens to you, several more bad things can just happen to you. But in the way that I'm trying to splice the change aspect into this, if something bad happens to you, make something good for yourself. So let's say your best friend hates you. He's stabbed you in the back, and now you are completely fucking lonely. You've got no one to play games with. You've got no one to hang out with anymore. So, what should you do? A, I'll give you the red pill and the blue pill. A, you wallow in self-pity. You play on your own and cry about it. Or, you make new friends. You realise that if he's just going to stab you in the back like that he's not worth it anyway. And that problem has virtually solved itself. He has just walked away from you, who you have so much more value than that. So you should believe that and find someone who can appreciate that value and enjoy your time with them. I'm going to actually start on getting some armour. We're going to get an iron helmet and iron leggings. Look at that. Dripped out. Look at that little cute armor bar. Love it. Hopefully it doesn't break after like one hit or something. You just gotta sort of make do with what you have. Make the change positive rather than negative. Perspective has a lot to do with that. I don't want to indulge too much in perspective because that might be a future topic. Try and make something good out of this shitty situation. That's the best way to move on and change positively, even if shit things happen. I am going to be 22 this year. That is fucking wild. Holy shit. I'm going to be 22. What? 2016 was 10 years ago. Yeah, oh my god. Now that's an example of bad change. Time is always on the move. And before you know it, you'll be looking back like, wow. That changed. That changed real quick. I'm going to stop killing sheep and actually go do something else. I want to change my house up. I wanna expand. That's what I want to do right now. So let's break this. Let's actually make a half decent house now. While I'm doing this, let's talk about more examples of how change has impacted me. So I've got over best friends leaving me in the past, which everyone has that. It's pretty common occurrence. Another common one is partners leaving. In 2021, 2020, I was very, very obsessed with. I say obsessed in the least weird way possible. But looking back, it actually was obsession. Like, not love. Love, no. There was a girl who I met on a course of mine who treated me really well. I don't know how else to fucking put it. She warmed up to me really fast. She recently broke up with her boyfriend, so I'm pretty sure I must have been like the rebound. So she sort of just got into a relationship with me really quickly, like out of nowhere, and the showering of love was just like fucking overwhelming to me. Not having a proper girlfriend before this, then it's just like, wow, this is it. This is love, yeah. And then not even a month later and she's gone. Now that was absolutely devastating. Absolutely devastating. Oh my god, it was an absolute mess of a situation. I don't even know how, like, I felt so deeply in love with someone who I just met. I understand now that that's just not, that weren't real. I don't know, without the experience, with not like having that before, you can't really expect to know what it's like when it's real. I don't know how else to put that. Basically, I'm a loner. I was a loner, and suddenly I just got showered in love and got obsessed quickly, and then she was gone. Literally for someone else, like a month after. It was insane. Absolutely wild to me. I couldn't fathom it. Like, how the fuck can you show that much affection to someone who you just leave out of nowhere, out of the blue? Just, oh, wild. But that completely messed up my brain. That, like, rewired my whole brain from there on. I felt like I wasn't conscious before that moment. I didn't have the ability to think that this might not be what I think it is. This might end badly. I could never think that at the time. But, yep, that happened. And I don't even regret it looking back. Like, it was a canon event, to say the least. It had to happen. But the way that it changed me was massively negatively. I'll be real. After that, I just lost all value in myself completely. It was gone. Like, I'd literally just been stripped of my life force after that moment. From 1 minute lovers to the next villains. It fucks up your head, like. Let's see if there's pressure plates in this. Nope, not yet. Okay, I think there might be, but might need redstone for it or something. But yeah, that's the sort of change that I've had to put up with. It's obviously a common occurrence. I know a lot of people who had the same shit, you know, first love being not what they expected, or fell deeply in love with someone who couldn't reciprocate, or whatever it is, you know. It obviously negatively impacted me, and at this time I was still like, I couldn't accept change. So the idea of the change just being thrusted in front of me like that threw my entire, like, perception of the world on its head. The way that I've had to sort of get over that is just realizing the truth, honestly, just confronting what it was, who she really is, who I really am, and changing that. So it took me, I want to say, at least 6 months to fully recover from that. It was a long stretch for something that had lasted not even long enough to call serious. After all that time, after the self-pity, after the complete bullshit that it was, I just got to the point where I just stopped feeling anything for it. Just realised that, well, that happened, and I can't do anything about it. You know, I even had these, like, relapses where I'd message her, like, as if she's gonna fucking change. Like, no, she's literally with another bloke. I'm fucking messaging her as if, like, oh yeah, we can stay friends or something. What? That's crazy. What are you talking about? You can't. No, you just can't stay friends after something like that. Not only that. Why would you want to be friends with that? Can't understand it. I can't now, but looking back, I would have thought, yeah, that was the right decision at the time. But it's just not. You can't come back from that. You just can't. And I don't even know why you'd want to. So, yep, that's a big example of change. Big example of change. Very important one. Understanding the truth. Don't lie to yourself. I couldn't do anything about that. It weren't real. Weren't worth my time. Weren't worth my money. Weren't worth worrying over. And honestly, if I didn't be such a bitch about it, she might have even wanted to come back herself. She might have even thought, oh wow, he's had a proper glow up, you know. He's more valuable than my current boyfriend, because honestly that's the kind of person I think she is. Like, she would just like throw her current boyfriend under the bus because she's found something more desirable. But even then, the best thing would be to just say nah. You like the house, by the way? Work in progress. I need a couple more blocks. Another important change I guess I've had to put up with is my brother moving out. It's not like a majorly massive one, but it's in a different direction. Me and my brother shared like a pretty big room, which meant like we had constant communication, and that family bond was just like, it's just always there, right? Always felt safe, and we had the same interests, just playing games next to each other. And him moving out, I suddenly have this massive room to myself, and it's kind of lonely. I mean, looking back, I'm so glad he moved out, in the least negative way possible, because having your own room, oh my god, it's lovely, absolute luxury. Yeah, not having that person who's always in your room for you, someone who's always going to be there. It's like bonding with someone in your comfort zone. It's weird. It's like a completely different dynamic. And then that just being taken away, and gets lonely. Loneliness is, I don't want to go too in depth on it, because that could be its own video, honestly. It's pretty common, especially nowadays. You know, technology is absolutely catastrophic for loneliness, because, you know, I'm talking to you now, but I'm not next to you. I'm not looking at you saying this. This is your speaker relaying information. This isn't a bond. I'm not next to you. I'm not talking to you. Yeah, loneliness is massive at the moment. You just gotta sort of get on with it. I think, well, I'm British, so I'm talking from being a Brit. Is that a term, being a Brit? I think so. Spiffing Brit. I think, yeah. I feel like our country is so disconnected. It's unreal compared to cultures like India and stuff. Like, now we've got such digital advances and stuff. We just don't need each other anymore. And I don't know, bonds aren't easily as made as they used to be. And a lot of quality time is spent on shit like this, like me, just playing fucking Minecraft. One of the best things you can do for that is to just try and find the people who believe that as well, and value the physical bonds and shit, like meeting people in clubs. You're not gonna find like what's the word? You're not gonna find best friends in the pub or anything. That like sense of actually being like out there, bonding over a drink or bonding over just a dance or something, is way better than swiping left on fucking Tinder or whatever the fuck, or meeting on Discord, calling each other e-kittens and e-boys. Oh my god, that shit's repulsive. Just talking to people in the real world, very, 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 very important. And for people who don't do that, that's the change you are making this year. You have to do that. That is something that is literally hardwired into our brain as a necessity, much like food or water. Bonding with people, communicating with people is an essential. It's non-negotiable. You can and will die of loneliness. Of loneliness, not lonely. You will die of loneliness. When you go out, you go for a walk. Say hi to that stranger. Ask him how his day is. Don't be weird about it. You don't even need to do that half the time. Just say hey. Or you good? Morning. Good afternoon. Something like that. And oh god, that is such an amazing habit. I respect the hell out of people who do that. I don't have it myself yet, but I will eventually. Having the confidence to talk to random people is a massively positive change. Not only does it give you more value, it's also just an amazing thing to talk to people. You don't know who you can meet out there. Like, I might talk to a stranger on the street, you know. I do my usual walk, and then we start like saying hey more often. I see him twice, 3 times. Say, hey, I know you. How you doing, man? And you get friendships out of that shit. Those people can literally be anyone. They can teach you lessons. They can help you grow. And in some cases, just having the connections to them is beneficial. Like, you might get a new job and see that guy you were passing on the street is actually the manager. Now, you're like, oh my god, it's you. That's your manager. And you're already on good terms. You're already on great terms. And it's going to be like nothing else. An absolute must-have habit if you're questioning what resolution to have for this year. Do that. Talk to people. Talk to random people. Obviously don't talk to the fent leaners on the street. Don't talk to the crackheads or the chavs who have the hoods up looking like they fucking want to stab you. But, yeah, the woman who's just walking her dog, say hi. Say, oh, you're a lovely dog. And it's one of those things that's like contagious, honestly. Because this is a habit that I've picked up from one of my friends who I've known for about 5 years now, 5 or so years. He, while we were hanging out, like one of these years, it was literally just going up to people like, hey, how you doing, man? Like, he didn't know them. He would literally just start a conversation out of nowhere. Respect for that is just insane. It's like, how can bro do that? It's great. It's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure, like, doing that has massively helped him. I massively recommend it. Can I cook pork? Oh, you can! Hold on. I didn't know this. I've just been holding raw pork the entire time. What the fuck? Well, that's not normal. Cooked pork don't go brown. Or doesn't in Minecraft usually? It goes white. That's an interesting change, to say the least. Very small change. Moving on from that. I was originally talking about loneliness, and then it's completely gone over my head at this point. Feeling different. Yeah, that. I had that growing up. Always felt a bit weird. And I am. Just am. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I probably did once upon a time. I don't now. That's because I realised that that's what I think, not necessarily what anyone else thinks. Even if it is, why do I care? And I don't. It's a pretty easy topic to go over because ignorance is bliss. Not caring sometimes is just the best way around things. Don't put energy into things that aren't worth it. whether it's people or worries, don't bother. Some things are worth worrying about. But worrying if you're weird or different just ain't one of them. Like, everyone's got a fucking life, everyone's got to put up with shit, everyone's got to move on, everyone's got to get a job, everyone's got to get money, everyone's got to eat, everyone's got to drink. Why the fuck? Nobody actually gives a shit. Nobody actually cares. The only person who cares about that is you. And knowing that, you can just sort of put the kibosh on that. So these small habits that you just start doing, like talking to people, exercising, journaling is a good one, listening to music, doing things like that are small, but if you can stay consistent and do them over a long period of time, it starts to become like second nature. And me in particular, I've got a habit of doing push-ups every night because I've got an aversion to the gym. I ain't paying money to go gym. Not only am I working a very physical job, but even if I'm not in on that day, I'll be doing push-ups at night time. Or if I am, I'll still be doing push-ups at night time. I'll be consistently doing these push-ups until fail at night time. Just before bed ideally, because then I'll wake up completely recovered, allow my muscles to grow if that's applicable, but it's mostly just staying active. Make me tired before bed, helps me sleep. I've started reading. Reading is something that I've never really got along with, but I started reading the FNAF books. FNAF Silver Eyes. I finished about a month ago now. I'm currently halfway through the Twisted ones, and I've got to say, mate, they're really good. I've got a very visual, very descriptive imagination, so reading's it's actually kind of nice. And to a degree, I think that William Afton FNAF is way better written in the books than he is in the games. Sure, I always come back, but in the books, he's described as a zombie that changes as soon as he's got his golden rabbit mask on. Oh, so good. And even in the movies, I think the movie did it pretty well. I really like Matthew Lillard, but the books are so descriptive, it's great. Yeah, small habits like that, like just staying on top of them, staying consistent, brings not only worth, confidence, it brings whatever benefit of the habit. So for reading, I'm getting more literate. I'm a bit stuttery and I don't really have massive vocabulary, I've noticed over the years. I use the same words a lot over and over. I'm pretty simple, easy to digest. I talk too fast sometimes, a lot of the time. Exercising. My muscles have started growing. I know I've got a more physical job now, but when I flex, I feel my best. There's a noticeable difference. I wish I took a before and after picture, which I might have to do at some point. And the talking one, being able to talk to anyone and having the confidence and openness, and that is a whole skill in itself. Speaking is one of the most important skills in life. If you've watched Better Call Saul and you've seen how Saul Goodman can talk his way out of anything, it's honestly kind of real. As much as it's obviously exaggerated in the show to a superhuman level almost, people who are good at speaking, good at convincing, it's got massive benefits. So a good example of this in my life is my stepdad. One time we were drinking at a pub and we were late to an Indian restaurant that had already closed. My stepdad walks in, even though they were closed, and the lights were off and everything. He goes up to the staff and he's he just starts relating with them and talking about Indian culture, and then suddenly we've got 3 meals after time talking with the staff and the manager, and I just can't believe it. Free food after hours. Being able to just talk your way into stuff like that, it's gold. It's absolute gold. A skill that I wish I had. A skill I wish I just was able to talk into stuff like that. which, yeah, I want to get better at that. I really do. That's one thing I want to get better. And being able to speak to random people in the street is one step closer to that. Alright, so I've done enough prancing around in Minecraft. Let's actually do something. So I've got all this sand. I was going to make windows. So let's get some of these in here. I also wanted to make sandstone, but it looks like there's no sandstone. I usually make sandstone flooring because it's really smooth and really nice. But I guess I'm not going to be able to do that. Instead, I might use gravel. Another habit I've been working on myself is biting my nails. I have always bitten my nails since I was 6, 7. And I've only stopped in the last couple months. And the way I've done that is not only like I'm consciously like making sure I don't put my fingers to my mouth, but I've started painting my nails black. I don't really give a shit that it makes me look fucking gay. I just don't care. Obviously the nail varnish in my mouth can taste horrible, so I stopped. I realised what I'm doing before I chew my nails up. And my nails have much improved. I've actually got nails to open things with now, and my cuticles are recovering. To be honest, it's got to the point where I actually just kind of like having black nail varnish on. Change in people. I've gone over it a couple of times about how people can just move out of your life, potentially for good. People passing, death even, is a change that will probably stick with you for a long time, but it's just making sure that you don't let it consume you and you change to be better, respecting the memory of what was and moving forward into what is. I wanted a different wood or something to use for the roof, but I don't know if there is a different wood in this game yet. Is there glass panes, I wonder? Not yet. Well, it's worth a try. So, a change that we've literally already done, you have noticed, is the house has gone from a simple box to an actual house. It's evolved. The old house didn't fit my needs anymore, and so I've changed it to now be bigger, more spacious. What happened to my armor? I saw I had 4.5 bars before. Like I've said before, the best friends thing, at least those were many years ago, decades at this point. You got more recent shit, like my girlfriend leaving me. That was 4 months ago now. Obviously it fucking hurt, but what can you do, man? You just gotta accept it for what it is. It is what it is, and move on. It simply boils down to people on their own paths. When the paths get close to yours, you know, you meet them for the first time, like we did in college, and then they're gone, doing other things in life that don't involve you anymore. That is a very common change that people like me need to recognize and just get on with it. Honestly, I'm insanely impressed with how I've handled this, to be fair, compared to the one that fucking lasted a month and devastated for 6 months. Wild. This one only took me like a month before like most of the pain was gone. What? I know Herobrine's in this world. I just can't prove it. Unlike the first one though, I still like have respect. It's not bitterness. I've not unlike the other one, I don't hate her. The paths have just diverged, I guess. Like some people's paths will stay with yours for the rest of your life, and some people only be there for like a day. Some people only be there for a week. People have got their own lives. People have got to do their own things, their own goals, their own experiences, their own everything. Change is just important in general. Can't stress it enough. Along with that, you gotta also accept others change too. So this is also something that I never really understood growing up. And even now, I struggle with it a bit. People change themselves as well. Just like you, they can decide to change. You know, one day they might be your best friend and the next they're not. They can change. Everyone can change. A good example of this is a friend I've had from school who he was one of the closest people to me, and now he's not. I have respect for him, and I appreciate the times we had together and everything, but it's sort of just become one of those, like, if you need me, I'll be there, but other than that, we're not gonna see each other. So yeah, that's you gotta accept that people can change as well. Is that gold? I'm tempted to make a furnace and actually mine that right now. I didn't expect to find gold. I broke my own pickaxe for some reason as well. You gotta accept that other people they grow as well. They've got their own challenges, their own experiences. Their path will keep moving as well. Time will keep moving for them. Like, just because you're not talking to them right now doesn't mean that they're not doing something, they're not growing in their own ways. Shit changes, they change, they will change. Not always negatively, not always positively. They will change though. I know someone who I've known since playgroup. He's now a druggie. He does coke, and yeah, I've met up with him very recently. He's chill, but I'm always gonna have that view, like, he does coke, like what? But yeah, I still have respect for who he was and who he is now. He's still chill. The past is pretty comfortable. If you stay stuck in the past, you will never be able to move forward. You won't be able to live in the present. If you're too caught up on who someone used to be rather than who they are, then you're a fool. Keep moving forward. Don't get stuck on the past. People change, you must change. Life changes. Change is important. The past is obviously comfortable and predictable, but you've got to live in the present. Don't live in the future, don't live in the past. Live in the present. Because the happiness you feel right now, you only feel it for a certain amount of time. Enjoy that night out with your boys. Enjoy playing Minecraft, because it's not forever. You're gonna go home after the party and it's over. You gotta live in the moment. If you don't live in the moment, then you're missing out. Don't get caught up on what was. Leading on from that, stagnation. That's pretty much just the same. Don't get stuck, don't stay still. Don't keep telling yourself like you're lazy. You don't want to make new habits because you're lazy and you procrastinate. Don't. Come on, dog. Grow up. It's like I'm just gonna AFK in Minecraft and expect my house to be built for me. What are you talking about? You think the house is just gonna build itself? You have to break and place every single block for that house. If you don't put in the work, why do you expect something to be built for you? Don't stagnate, don't stay still. Keep moving. Like, even though I'm trying to talk and do something productive in Minecraft, I'm still looking for diamonds and getting iron, even though I've passed some over here. I am still like, I'm not stagnating because I'm not just sitting still talking to the microphone like this, not doing anything. Not only is it boring to look at, undesirable, nothing's getting done. I'm not content, I'm not happy with that. And honestly, the episode won't be uploaded. Don't be afraid of starting over. There's a lot of afraid being tossed around here, because that's like one of the main things, being afraid of change, yeah, but starting over can sometimes be more beneficial than pursuing something that's not gonna work. Sometimes you need a blank canvas, sometimes you need a break, sometimes you need space, sometimes you need to start over. Okay, let's say I'm trying to build a redstone contraption and it doesn't work how I wanted it to. It is a complete mess, by the way. Like, it's absolutely hideous. I've got lines of redstone covering like around my house and it looks horrid, honestly. And it doesn't even work. It's not functional. It looks horrid. Let's just start over. Starting over is just the best way sometimes to make it something better. So even though it might look like I've backtracked or back at the start, back to square one, well, physically I might be back to square one, I now have the knowledge that my original take on it isn't going to work, of which I wouldn't have had that knowledge beforehand. So if I wanted to make it, or I was doing something slightly different but same concept, it wouldn't have worked. But now I've got the knowledge that I need to say it's not going to work in the first place, so I'm going to use a different approach. You just got to sometimes. So in college, my teacher would tell me about a student that had a project planned. She told him halfway through the assignment that she wanted to start over. She wanted to completely change up her idea into ninja cats or something like that. She wanted to completely change up the original idea into something completely different. And that would mean getting rid of what she's done and restart the planning process, restart all of like what she already had, and she passed. She got a good grade. Like, sometimes it is just better to start over. If you've got something that's not working, you just gotta cut your losses and use the added experience to make something better. And that goes for a lot of real life scenarios, even with people. So, like I was saying earlier, the best friend who betrays you, starting over is the only way forward with that. He's not going to change if that's who he really is. If he's the type to turn on you like that, then he ain't worth it. Go find someone else. I'm missing a couple gravel. My house isn't fully complete, but I'm not finding diamond tonight, and I'm not finding redstone. It's not happening. So instead, I'll settle for gold. I'll settle for my new house. I'm happy. I'm content with this. My 2 armor pieces. One of the last ones I want to say is, don't underestimate other paths. This is especially applicable to me, wanting to stay on the same path, you know. I had a dream since I was a kid to be a game designer. That's all I wanted to be. I disregarded any other idea, any other dream, because I wanted to be a game designer. I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I hated it. I hated it. Looking back, I wish I never did it. I wish I never had it. So don't underestimate your other options. Don't look over them. Don't blindly follow one thing. Be open to other things as well. Yeah, just don't underestimate other paths. Because even though the path you're on might be good, you might know what you're doing, you might be happy with it, who's to say that another path might not bring you more happiness? And it can bring you less, don't get me wrong. The other path might be bad, but just be open to something better. Look at that, I got me some shoes. Well, it's turning night time. My last point's coming up. I've got to the point where I've got gold, new armor, my house is looking pretty good. Last thing I want to say is a question to you. What's something in your life right now that's changing? Are you resisting it, or are you flowing with it? Are you resisting the change, or are you just flowing through, just getting on with it? What's something in your life that's changing right now? Are you resisting? Or are you flowing with it? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. I will leave a little heart for you if you do. Respect that you got this far. Thanks for joining another episode of Fengal Podcast. I've pretty much just changed it to that at this point. That sounds kind of cool, actually. But yeah, do something good. Go pick up a good hobby. Go be who you want to be. Until next time, losers. Ciao.